Agenda-setting theory. Agenda-setting theory explains how media shapes public perception by deciding what issues are given more attention, thus guiding what people think about. This does not necessarily mean the media tells people what to think, but it heavily influences what they consider important. The theory was developed by communication scholars Maxwell McCombs and Donald Shaw in the 1970s. Their research focused on how news coverage during elections influenced public opinion about the most significant issues facing society. To understand how agenda setting works, think about the vast amount of information that could be shared on any given day. With so many events happening worldwide, it's impossible for all of them to receive equal attention. Media outlets, whether traditional like newspapers, TV, or more modern platforms like social media, decide which stories to cover and how much space or time to dedicate to each one. When media consistently reports on specific topics, those topics naturally become more prominent in the minds of the public. For example, during a natural disaster, such as a hurricane, the media will focus heavily on that event. This extensive coverage makes the public more aware of the situation, and people will likely view the disaster as one of the most critical issues at that moment. In contrast, if media outlets choose to give less attention to a particular issue, the public may perceive it as less important, even if it affects many people. The agenda-setting theory is critical because it shows the immense power media has in shaping public discussions. When media organizations emphasize certain stories, they effectively set the agenda for what the general public talks about and prioritizes. This can apply to a range of topics, such as politics, social issues, environmental concerns, or public health. Through repeated exposure to specific news, media can guide people into thinking that those issues are the most pressing. For instance, consider how the media treated the COVID-19 pandemic. During the height of the pandemic, almost every news outlet covered it extensively. As a result, everyone was aware of the virus, its impacts, and the necessary precautions. The media set the agenda, and people across the globe recognized the virus as a significant issue that required attention. Without that level of coverage, many people might not have been as informed or as cautious. However, the agenda-setting process also means that some issues receive less attention. There may be equally significant problems happening around the world, but because they are not covered as extensively by the media, they do not make it into public discourse. This can lead to imbalances in what society views as critical. Agenda setting operates on two levels. The first level focuses on what topics are covered by the media. This is where the media decides which subjects are worth mentioning. For example, during an election season, a news outlet might choose to cover topics like healthcare, the economy, or climate change. The second level of agenda setting goes deeper and deals with how these topics are framed. This refers to how the media presents an issue and which aspects of it they emphasize. For instance, healthcare might be framed in terms of costs or access. The way a topic is framed affects how people perceive it. Framing influences public opinion by highlighting particular attributes or angles of a story. For example, if the media consistently reports on the high costs of healthcare and the struggles of families who cannot afford medical treatment, people may see healthcare reform as necessary. However, if the media focuses on the idea that government intervention in healthcare could be too costly or inefficient, the public may be less supportive of reforms. This second-level agenda setting allows media not just to bring issues to the public's attention but to influence how people feel about those issues. One of the most critical areas where agenda-setting theory plays a role is in politics. During elections, candidates and political parties are keenly aware of how media coverage can affect voter perceptions. The more media attention a candidate receives, the more people are likely to view them as a viable option. Similarly, the issues that dominate media coverage during an election season are often the ones that voters consider when they head to the polls. Media coverage can give politicians a platform to discuss their policies and goals, but it can also be used to highlight controversies or scandals. If a candidate is consistently covered in a negative light, public perception may shift, and their chances of winning an election could decrease. This gives the media a powerful role in shaping political outcomes. Moreover, political leaders and candidates may try to influence the media agenda by using press conferences, social media, and public appearances to highlight the issues they want voters to focus on. This strategic communication can be part of a broader plan to ensure that their priorities are given attention by the media, and thus, by the public. In today's digital age, social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram play a significant role in agenda setting. These platforms allow ordinary people to share news and opinions, which can sometimes influence what traditional media outlets cover. Social media can amplify specific topics by making them go viral, thus shifting the public's attention. However, social media also presents challenges. It allows for a broader range of voices and perspectives, but it can also lead to misinformation or disinformation. People can share news stories that may not be entirely accurate, yet these stories can gain traction if enough people discuss or share them. This presents a new dynamic in agenda setting, where not only the traditional media but also social networks can play a role in shaping public perception. The agenda-setting theory also has significant implications in public health and social issues. For example, consider how media coverage influences public awareness of health crises such as the opioid epidemic, mental health awareness, or issues of racial injustice. When media outlets dedicate time and space to these topics, they raise public consciousness and push these issues to the forefront of societal concerns. This can lead to increased public support for policies or changes aimed at addressing the issue. However, if a topic is underreported, it may not receive the attention it deserves, leaving important societal problems unaddressed. While agenda-setting theory provides valuable insights into how media influences public opinion, it is not without criticism. One concern is that it gives too much power to the media in shaping what people think is important. In reality, many other factors, such as personal experiences and conversations with others, also influence public perceptions. Moreover, the rise of digital media has made the agenda-setting process more decentralized. People can now access information from a broader range of sources, and traditional media no longer has a monopoly on shaping public discourse. This means that while the media still plays a role in agenda setting, it competes with many other voices and platforms. Another criticism is that agenda-setting theory assumes that people passively accept the media's portrayal of issues. In contrast, many people critically engage with media content, forming their own opinions based on various sources of information. Agenda-setting theory provides a compelling explanation of how media influences what the public thinks about by selecting and emphasizing certain issues over others. This powerful process affects politics, social issues, public health, and even everyday perceptions. It reminds us that the stories we see in the media are not random but are part of a broader agenda-setting process that shapes our view of the world. Understanding agenda setting helps us recognize the influence media has on our thoughts and decisions. It also encourages us to think critically about the information we consume and question why certain topics are emphasized over others. If you found this explanation helpful, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more insights into media theories and their impact on society.